Game number 1, everybody, is on Sky Temple here today at the end of the Storm Finals. It's day 1. We have a double elimination system. We're currently in the winner's bracket in the round of 8. NaVi is facing Bubble Squad here. This is, of course, a best-of-3 series, and the two teams are fighting to move on to the next round in the winner's bracket. The winner of this is going up against the winner of the Sandwich Monkeys, and Ghoul is looking for an umbrella. At this point, at this moment there, big shout out to Stork for those amazing team names that he always comes up with that test us casters. But Li Ming is allowed. Every hero is allowed except for Stitches here today. Li Ming already banned out, of course. I mean, it's one of the things that we expect quite a lot today, that we will see her influencing the draft more than the actual game, because a lot of people still say that, yeah, the hero is going to be banned out quite a bit. Usually then on the second spot, since, of course, you would really like to pick her. But that's also going to influence the draft, of course. And we will see a few heroes that are usually banned out. Like, for example, Thrall would have been banned by NaVi, quite likely. We have the ban on Zagara for Bubble Squad, and they pick Rhaegar first of all. Rhaegar has received a couple of changes. He was nerfed by Blizzard just recently a little bit, and is now a bit more balanced, but still an incredibly strong healer that has also like nice siege power and also good damage against heroes. NaVi, so far, actually not locking down that Thrall, which is interesting. Instead, they go for Sonya. Now, we have seen NaVi play with both of these heroes in the past, but that they pick Sonya now over Thrall, that is kind of interesting here. So, Bubble Squad can now go full Orc if they want to. NaVi, on the other hand, a team that has always experimented a lot with like new builds, new hero combinations, and that might be just one of them. So Sonya falls that as an opening. Good auto attack damage dealers for them. They could have gone into that Thrall that we've been talking about. We have not seen them lock down any of their like potential tanks as well. Bubble Squad could now go into Thrall first of all, and then they of course have to answer the question, do they want to go into an attack hero? They go for a Jaina. Kel'Thas in this case actually left out for now. Kel'Thas has been nerfed a little bit, especially on the Arcane Barrier, and also of course when we're looking at the heroic ability, the Phoenix was buffed a bit, has now a much, sorry, not the Phoenix was buffed, the Pyroblast was buffed in damage, but has now a much higher cooldown. The cooldown was actually doubled from 50 to 100 seconds. Now Bubble Squad with the Jaina first, and Jaina in particular has been buffed overall, so that definitely helped the hero quite a bit. And on some of the servers, you actually saw Jaina already picked before Kel'Thas quite a lot, like in the recent months. In Europe, it was always Kel'Thas over Jaina, but right now the roles are starting to reverse a little bit. Bubble Squad, they still need, of course, another hero here. If they don't go for a frontliner, then it has to be Thrall in this case right now that they are going to lock down. And they go for the frontliner instead. They go for Mirrodin here, and that allows them now also to have Mirrodin plus Jaina Stormbolt into burst damage, which is something that can really help them out here. NaVi has not to decide if they want to ban that Thrall, if they really feel like Bubble Squad is going to lock that hero down later on, if they want to ban out maybe like even a Tassadar. Depends a little bit on what they want to play right now, because Bubble Squad has a ban as well, and Rhaegar Tassadar has oftentimes been played with Amelia Assassin. We've seen that a lot, but NaVi could now use that Tassadar too. They could either go into a solo Tassadar if they really wanted to, or they could like also like drop maybe like a Tyranno together with him, or another hero. We've seen a couple of Brightwings every now and then, Sky Temple in particular. There's a couple of heroes that they really have to think about. Like, first of all, if they want to pick them, since they have the next double pick, and also if they would like to ban them out. So that Thrall ban is still an option. Tassadar, if they themselves don't want to play with Tassadar, but I feel it's kind of likely that NaVi is going to try and lock that down. Keep in mind, we have a couple of very, very strong frontliners still available as well. ETC, for example, is still up for the taking, so they could take that too. Diablo is also still out there, and he's, of course, in particular, very, very strong when it comes to just like combos, but Zagara is banned out, so the strongest combo counterpart is already gone. And NaVi, they ban out Greymane. Greymane, during the Spring Championship qualifier, has become more and more popular in the draft process, and sometimes was even picked first. He's a great range damage dealer, but that means that we still have Thrall available, which Bubble Squad so far has neglected. Bubble Squad themselves now can think about a ban on. They go for the Leoric ban. Now, we had a couple of, I'm just mentioning it because, I mean, Leoric overall, you can ban him out, but we actually had a couple of Cho'Galls already. So I'm just saying that because like most of the teams that try to play a Cho'Gall also ban out Leoric, since of course that life drain is just absolutely incredible against Cho'Gall in particular. So NaVi, they already have a false set hero that can really dish out the damage against high hit point pool heroes like Mirrodin or even a Cho'Gall, thanks to that giant killer. Lunara now as a lockdown. I like the new drafts here. I really like quite a lot of fun, but for me personally, I really want to see what NaVi chooses in terms of support. because they can still play that Tassadar, but with the setup that they have now, it would also mean that they play Tassadar as the solo support. And that's, of course, always the question, do you really want to do that? And if you now go, for example, into an ETC at the front line, into a Johanna at the front line, then having a Karazem would would give them better healing power, at least. Tassadar, then again, has, of course, a few nice tools that he can give Sonya. For example, the Leeching Plasma at level 4 helps her just immensely with the sustain there. There's that Johanna that I already mentioned. Alex is playing her a lot these days. Johanna is one of their preferred heroes, actually. And NaVi now, are they going to go into that Tassadar, or is it going to be the Monk? I actually think it's going to be one of the two of them. But Bubble Squad, I'm curious what they are going to do now. With that ban on Leoric, I really want to see what they are playing now. Against NaVi, you oftentimes see that Leoric is being used for them, but still, like, having a Leoric banned out at that point when you could have banned out so many other heroes here and even limited, like, the frontline potential of NaVi, it's kind of interesting. So Bubble Squad actually running down the timer. I don't know if they've ever actually, like, even played Cho'Gall, because that's mostly something that we have seen from NaVi. We have seen it from My Insanity, most and all. Darumbi, Darkmok, and Blumbi, the two players that play Cho'Gall quite a lot. Like, I think we have a couple of games already on the YouTube channel with that. So I kind of doubted a little bit that Bubble Squad is really going for it at this point. And yep, they go for Reyna for the auto attack damage, and at least they, like, lock him down. And that already limits the options here. So they're not going to go for that Tassadar. If they wanted to go for Tassadar, then it would have also meant that they are like running another melee assassin here and try to, for example, play with Illidan again or with Thrall. And with how the draft goes, actually, they could also just simply, like, not pick Thrall here, which is kind of interesting if you think about, like, how Thrall was throughout the last few weeks, either a first ban or first pick. So in this case, we're having Bubble Squad with the option to go into a second Warrior. They could go still into Thrall if they wanted to. But yeah, Warrior or Thrall are probably, like, their best options at this point. And if they want to go into a Warrior, then they could, for example, like, say, okay, we're going to go into an ETC. And wow, they still try to play Tassadar? Surprises me a little bit, to be honest with you. I don't really feel like you need that double support here. I mean, you have a lot of sustain with it, but usually when you see a Rhaegar Tassadar, it's mostly that you are trying to run also a melee assassin that jumps into the backline, and they don't have that. So that Tassadar pick is actually, like, a little bit surprising to me. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. Lunara, of course, is going to have a bit of a tougher time of really taking someone down here. There's Karazim, as we already expected a little bit earlier, as one of the options for the heals. But that Tassadar pick is really a bit surprising. They are very, very sustainable right now. Meridian, of course, is very difficult to kill as is. With Tassadar shields and Rhaegar heals, it's even harder. But they have only Meridian at the front line to also capitalize off that lightning shield. And it's actually, like, an interesting pick to go for a Tassadar here. With Tassadar, I could have really seen them play a Thrall. I really feel that would have given them a whole lot of synergy with Tassadar shields and everything else there. So Bubble Squad decides to go into 2 range damage dealers, but still run that Tassadar and Rhaegar. Tassadar, of course, also with a bit of AoE that he can use on the temple fights. But overall, Navi's lineup seems to be a little bit more well-rounded here. Nice frontline here with 2 frontliners, Sonya more that bruiser style, and then good damage in the backline. A little bit of squishy damage here with Falstad Lunara, but they should be able to keep everybody away. And there's not really a lot of potential for Bubble Squad to jump into the backline. So game number 1 is going to start right now. We have Sky Temple as our first map. So guys, let's just jump in right away and find out which team is going to take the lead. Game number 1, everybody. Sky Temple is the map, and we are starting off into the Enter the Storm Europe Finals. We have actually day number 1, and we are down to the round of 8. We are currently in the winner bracket here, and all the way up at the top with NaVi going up against Bubble Squad. And to the left side of the map, we have Alex, the Pro G, on Johanna. We see Danatan playing Falstad, Eternal on Sonya, Grand Paquette on Karazem, Crosby on Lunara. And to the right side, it is the Bubble Squad with Phelox on Rhaegar. We have ETF on top on Muradin, Lassif on Jaina, Lumpy on Reyna, and Curson is playing Tassadar. So double support build currently for the Bubble Squad. Interestingly enough, without Thrall was still open. Instead, they chose the Reyna, who goes straight into the season marksman here, first of all. So it's definitely, like, a strong lineup that they have. Very sustainable as well, especially, of course, if you look at that. Oh, wow, we still have them trying to go straight for that first tower, which is something that we don't see as much anymore, since the towers do now 50% extra damage against heroes. And since that change, most of the teams don't really try to go for the tower snipes in the early stage of the game anymore. For now, we have also Shot of Fury taken. We see a season marksman for Falstad as well. One for Falstad, the other one for Reyna. And besides that, it is the Lightning Bond taken. Europe back to the Lightning Bond for a little bit of time. We saw the Electric Charge, which is still taken if you are trying to play with the melee assassin. If you have anybody in your lineup that tries to jump into the backline of your opponent. Oh, first kill. Yeah, maybe. They try to go for Rhaegar. He is actually poisoned. He might fall, and yes. That's the first kill here against Felox. So Lunara already doing her thing, going on level 1 straight for the cool spores here. So, yep, level 1 talent for her. Lunara, of course, when it comes to the damage output, she's extremely solid. Blizzard already changed their attack animation a little bit. That made the hero even stronger. It feels a lot better to play her right now. In the mid lane, we currently have Johanna facing off against Muradin, so it's a tank battle in the middle. And down to the bottom, we are having Danatan on Falset going up against Curson. Danatan, the newer addition to Na'Vi. After Mane left the team, they're still trying to find a replacement for him. They played with Deco Zoe for quite some time, but apparently that doesn't really work out, and instead it's now Danatan with the team. But as already said, if you play with the melee assassin, then going for the electric charge on Rhaegar as the level 1 lightning shield talent can still be pretty powerful. But right now, if that's not the case, then lightning bond is usually the preferred talent, at least on the European side. Level 4 talents a little bit faster. The nimble wisp once again taken. We're having now also the laws of hope. And both of the teams just basically like taking one shrine or one temple. Not even trying to go for anything else here. It's a little bit of an experience lead already though for Na'Vi. They're doing pretty solid with this. We're having them now on the same talent level as the opponent. Here comes again the Stormcaller. We're also seeing focus attack plus the leeching plasma. And down to the bot lane still Danatan versus Curson. The two facing each other here. Yeah, they have very little aggression on the map right now. Na'Vi knows that they have a slight lead. They can just like run with that. They can like roam from lane to lane, get the experience here with the waves, and then maybe also go for a few of the mercenary camps on the map. They don't really have to risk anything here at this point. Snowstorm is also been taken. Falstad switching up to the top. And the reason why Falstad actually switches lane is pretty simple. The next temple is going to happen at the bottom of the map. Therefore, if Falstad stays top, he can stay a little bit longer. He can wait until Jaina moves back down, and then once Jaina is about to arrive, he flies down. That allows him to take one extra wave up here, and that of course secures a bit of extra experience for the team, which might lead into an earlier level 10, and that then could also result in them getting the advantage with the heroic abilities. So that's the whole thought process behind having Falstad switching lanes here. The reason why he was down here at the bottom in the first place was that at the bottom he can also like stay on lane, get experience, and if he's needed at the fights for the temples, he can simply fly up to the top with this ability, and that's well, usually what happens with Falstad. Another hero that oftentimes does the same thing, if chosen, is Brightwing, so that's pretty similar. We see occasionally ETC going on this map into stage dive, and then he can more or less fulfill the same functionality and just try to just get a bit of extra experience for his team with his global presence. So the team's heading into level 7 now. We have only one kill so far. The bot lane, Grandpa Keta, going up against like Curson and more or less against the trial lane. We have by now also like Sonya going straight for one of the camps over here, and towards the right side already the mercenary camps has been captured. So we're going to see just like basically an exchange between the two camps, nothing out of the ordinary. Ideally you're trying to steal your opponent's camp away in the early game, but usually that doesn't really happen because you will always just try and monitor what exactly is going on here. The cool thing for them is that Lunara has decent vision, of course, thanks to the wisp that she can just simply send out when she needs to. But in this case, they didn't really have to like do anything. Eternal is like still on the camp there, and that shouldn't really be a big of deal. So the two Siege Giant camps are going to go up against each other, as you see at the bottom right now. We have Falstad still at the top, and now a bit of a rotation down here with an attempted attack by Alex and Crosby trying to go in for a potential kill. Well, so far not quite working out for them, but they take down those two Siege Giants. Their own shouldn't really survive for too much longer either. Actually, we are having Felox trying to move in a little bit. With him, he's actually pretty easy like to just like take down a wave. What Rhaegar can do once that he has the lightning bond taken is exactly that. He drops a ward, he drops one of the totems, and then he goes for the double lightning shield, and you can blast a siege wave or a siege minion wave away within seconds. It's crazy strong. Like the amount of siege damage that you get out with Rhaegar like this is incredible. It's really, really powerful. Level 7 talents gave us now Conviction, so we have like Night takes Pawn into Laws of Hope, into Conviction taken for Johanna. We're still seeing the auto attack build for Falstad, who's by now on 7 Seasoned Marksman stacks, as you can see here. And we are having at the same time also for Lunara the Wild Vigor taken once again. So pretty standard build here so far. The level 1 talent, you can make a couple of adjustments. Sometimes we have the vision taken here. In this case, it's a little bit better against... oh, nice capture timing here. Temple activating in 7 seconds, but we see the same thing happening to the left side. Grandpa Keto also like locking down the mercenary camp. just in time as the temple is announced at the bottom. Danatan, yeah, needs to barrel roll away here. Escapes Felox and Lassev. As long as he's at the top, they shouldn't really like lose anything here, so he can just like push them back for now. But you can already see that they are having Bubble Squad not even trying to go for the temple. We still have 2 versus 2 in the middle, and down to the bottom of the map there's Alex the Prodigy on the temple. We have Crosby zoning out Curson, and that's of course like a really tricky spot now, because that temple is going to do a lot of damage to the bot lane forward, and Danatan at the same time should be able to just like defend against this this entire mercenary camp that is trying to push in. And that is going to give them a ton of experience. NaVi has to move back now, though. They already soaked more than half of the shots, but they have to move back at this point, making sure that they have an opportunity to, just like fight on even ground. Because their problem is that Falstad needs to defend against that camp at the top lane first before he can fly down. And right now, with only a few shots remaining, they didn't even bother to like bring him into action here. He can just like simply push the top lane, maybe even take down the fort here. And that's exactly what he's currently trying to do. So he goes for the fort. We have Sonya's moving in as well. And it's just like the split on lanes once again. Everybody is trying to just move in for that. Blood and Thunder has been taken on 7. We have Frostbitten and Kala's Embrace. So once again, super sustained for the team in red here. But there's the level 10s, and with the heroic abilities, they're starting to move in. Thornwood Vines already taking. Rampakete jumps in. He has the palm. And we are seeing them go straight for the fort. The bot lane is being pushed as well. So what Bubble Squad is looking for here is an even exchange. They want to go for a fort for a fort. The problem is that they are not on level 10 yet, and they can't get the kill in. So they can't get the kill. We, by the way, don't see the mule, which would have been a possibility on Tassadar. We have seen that before, that with double support, you can occasionally forego Kala's Embrace and simply go for the mule instead, but not so in this case right now. And they are starting to fall a little bit behind. They are roughly 1 level behind already. And for them, dishing out the damage in these fights is definitely going to become a bit of an issue. They have their own heroic abilities now. In this case, it's more about like Avatar. Once again, we're also like having them with the Water Elemental and the Hyperion. So no Ring of Frost for potential like lockdown and burst damage. But this is definitely going to be a little bit tricky now. Tassadar with a Soak up at the top, but Navi already down at the bottom of the map. They're trying to steal the camp here, and they're trying to set a trap for any hero that they can get their hands on. If, for example, Lunara moves in with a slow, that's all that they need for now. But of course, they're also starting to waste a little bit of time here, in which Tassadar could soak some more experience, but Falstad flew up and made sure that he has everything in place there. Yeah, Danatan and Eternal lockdown by Curson's force wall. Well played actually by Curson. Like, nice force wall here. Of course, he has like taken quite a bit of damage. But by now we have everybody just like moving away and trying to go for those temples again. There's a temple at the bot lane that's now going to be active. And we have another one up at the top. But here comes that attack against Lumpy. And Reyna, well, I've been talking about it, like his choice, going Reyna Tassadar here on the last 2 picks was an interesting one. Reyna without an escape, Lassev now also dead, Navi taking the opportunity to kill 2 more heroes, 3-0 now in hero kills, and that of course puts a lot of pressure on Bubble Squad, who are still trying to get these shots up at the top, but the rest of the team is now starting to move in, and that forces the red team back. Force wall is in place, making sure that they can't be chased down, but this is really a tricky spot for them now. They are starting to lose 2 of those towers, and with 2 temples being lost, like the shots are just like firing in from any direction here. This is looking pretty bad for Bubble Squad here. Once again, Navi starts to go for Phalanx. Here comes the Ancestral Healing, keeping him alive, and Hyperion moving in as well for the damage and the zoning. We have now also Hold Your Ground taken on 13 for Johanna, trying to take that talent here for the extra sustain on the hero as a solo support, more solo tank at the front line. But still, Mystical Spear, so Johanna with Hold Your Ground. Jaina on the other hand, she's with the Water Elemental, still like trying to zone someone out during these fights. But Navi is now more than a level ahead. They have the extra talent and they took a lot of structures down. Both of the forts at the top and the bottom are already eliminated. The one in the mid lane is pretty low as well. And yeah, Navi's going for it. They're just simply moving in right now. When you look at the damage here, then especially when we're looking at Lunara and Falstad, they're at 13,000 DPS both. Reyna has a little bit more. He's currently, well, we have 17 Season Marksman stack for Falstad, 17 also for Reyna. Both of them have been doing a rather decent job here. But of course, one of the big problems that we are still seeing for the team in red is that they are just far behind in experience. They're just not on the same level here as Navi is currently in that regard. They are trying to go for boss though. So they're starting to move down to the bottom and they're trying to go for boss. Eternal sees that and everybody else can now try to move in. Falstad is about to fly in, has the Mighty Gust ready, is trying to put that to some use. Not yet. There we go, and it was a bit too early. It was too early. They're jumping on the spot. Oh, the kill against Muradin, and that is a disaster for Bubble Squad. They lose the boss, they lose 2 heroes. Boss has been stolen away. Even though Danatan was a bit too early with the Mighty Gust, they just blew Muradin up, and the healing came way too late. Now finally on Lumpy it hits in time, but that doesn't matter anymore. All slowed down by Crosby and the rest of the team. So it's a triple kill, and Boss lost as well. NaVi is playing a dominant game here. Incredibly well done here by them. The level 13 talents that we saw in play did not really help Bubble Squad. Again, they went in the case of Jaina for the Icy Veins, did not go for the Ice Block here. And we also had, of course, Narega go straight for the Earth Shield, especially with Muradin at the front line as the solo tank. They wanted to make sure that he can sorry, that he can survive, which was not the case. And yeah, first keep already down, and now another temple up, and of course by now we have the level 16 talents here ready for NaVi, and they're going for the invigorating spores. They have the unfair advantage now also taken. And with both of these talents here right now, this is of course going to be just like increasing the damage output of Lunara even more, and she is already a nuisance. Like that AoE damage, that poison damage is just like such a difficult business to deal with. Even with double support, she's already at 19,000 damage that she dishes out. Same amount that we're seeing for Reyna, who's still like the main damage dealer. And that's one of the main problems that we're currently seeing for Bubble Squad. They are having the damage from Reyna and also from Jaina, but it's just not enough to really deliver the damage here. We have 25,000 damage already tanked by Muradin, which is actually quite a lot, but they can't really move in against that extra talent right now. So Bubble Squad finds themselves in a very defensive position in which they just try to split on lanes to get experience, to hit that level 16 talent, maybe in time for the next battle. But it's 6 kills against 0 right now in this game, and that's one of the biggest problems that we're seeing for Bubble Squad. They have an incredible problem just like getting any kind of foothold in this game. Fly down to the bot lane. Here comes the Mighty Gust. Phalux is completely isolated, has no chance of survival here. Doesn't even try to heal himself with the ancestral healing. There's no reason to waste that cooldown. He already knows that he doesn't have a chance there. 25 season marksman stacks now on Danatan's false stats, so that's also increasing. We have roughly the same number on the side of Reyna. Reyna's currently at 22. Not really too much of a difference just yet, but you can already tell that with those extra hero kills that we're seeing on the side of NaVi, Fawcett has a much easier time getting season marksman stacks together. It's definitely going to increase his damage as well, and NaVi just in full control over the map right now. We take every single camp that's available to them, move through the map, and we have them, of course, like dominating these lanes. The first keep is down as well. They just wait for the next shrine to appear. Boss is, of course, down for another like 2 minutes, and in that case, they're just looking for an opportunity to maybe get a kill. Already pushing in the mid lane here. Lunara isn't even with them just yet, but if they maybe even get like a kill here, that would of course be great, but I doubt that they have the lockdown that they need for that. Bubble Squad is not going to make that mistake. They're usually in the way that they play their setups is usually like pretty solid, but right now they are just like aiming for the level 16 talent, and they're finally going to get it here now. So that's fights on even talents again, so that's the chance that they have. They now have also Rising Storm, which is of course a great talent for Rhaegar to get the extra damage in, and Reyna goes full damage here. No bullseye on 16, instead it's the Executioner that he's trying to hit. Numbing Blast taken as well. And the battle is about to start here. Jaina is moving in from the bottom. Danatan still poking a little bit. ETF moves in with a quick Storm Bolt. But not enough damage yet. And Crosby with his Lunara just like poking. Always poking. Moving in. Going straight with the ult in again. And they moved in for ETF. But he gets healed. Needs to move away there though. Eats still so much damage. The Thornwood Vines rushing through the entire setup. Once more, Crosby with the damage output, just like overtime, poke, poke, poke. Eternal getting away now. Stormbolt not hitting anything. Here comes that force wall and the turnaround. NaVi is going straight in for the fight. They know they can't retreat. Khan Paketa is very low. Has to start to jump in again for another heal, and he's doing exactly that. Heals the setup. Danatan barreling away. Gets palmed but survives. It's still a 5 versus 5. Crosby also once more dodging another Stormbolt, and the entire Bubble Squad setup is very, very low. Those poison damages on Crosby's Lunara do so much work here. They are starting to move back now though, well up, and go straight for those temples again, and that could of course mean forward or keep number 2 being destroyed. 28 season marksman stacks, the middle is now being attacked, going straight for the keep here, and that is a lot of trouble right now. They already lost the first keep and they are about to lose the second one. We have Sonya up at the top, and Johanna is at the bottom of the map, and Johanna is definitely going to get this if she stays, but she needs to move away since ETF is starting to move in too. At the top lane, Eternal is still soaking the shots though. NaVi simply just like moving into the mid lane with 4 heroes. They know that Muradin is down here with the solo warrior. There's no chance that the opponent is going to fight, so they can actually like move into the middle, try to burst these waves away, get closer to level 20. Could even try and dive for the keep, but they don't really know where the opponent is. Now they know exactly what's happening here, and that boss is of course something that they're very willing to fight for. Yeah, but the Wisp has been spotted, and therefore we are seeing a Bubble Squad just moving away. They don't want to get wiped again and lose that boss. That would be game. That would be game right away. Bubble Squad, they really need a win. They haven't seen a single kill yet. It's 7 kills against 0 in favor of NaVi. And now we have NaVi moving into the middle. As I said, they could go for the keep, and that's exactly what they do. Crosby and Danatan, they both take it out. Lumpy is moving in now, but it's already a little bit too late to change anything here. And from the top, now Sonya is also like joining up with the rest of the team. Moving away, now they are a little bit split here. Sonya needs to get in position, and Falstad is using the Mighty Gust. Yeah, they were a little bit in an awkward spot there. And of course, they don't really want to fight. They know that they only need like 2-3 more minions, and then they will hit level 20. And once that they have the Storm Talons, then they can really like go in and start to dish out a bit more damage and go for a fight. ETF already. Oh, and again, the fly in and the kill. I was just about to say that ETF needs to be careful here. I actually thought that they might be able to get someone in to help him out, but nope. There's the level 20 abilities right now, so ETF isolated a bit, and at this point, with the extra talent and 4 versus 5 situation on the map, they go straight for their kill against the boss. They get Lassif as well. Oh, or are they? Well, yeah, they are. It was a nice heal though. Rhaegar with a really solid heal, but in the end it's still the kill against Jaina. Alex is still aggroing the boss though, making sure that it's not getting leashed, and they are going to get this. And if they get the boss, then it's of course like lights out. I mean, the boss, this is like the final straw, and yes, boss has been captured. And Curson is about to fall now as well. Alex is still in the middle of the fight, even though he's extremely low. Healed once again by Grandpa Kette, and everybody's being chased right now. Curson already down, Phalok's about to fall. Big lag spike here. Oh wow, double kill at the same time here. Not quite sure what that was, but yep, hopefully the players themselves didn't feel that. So we have a complete team wipe more or less. Muradin is back by now again, but the boss alone is going to finish this. I don't even think they need the boss. Alex is low and will probably die, trying to like jump away. Wow, Alex moving in here, and yeah, this is of course like game number 1. Very well played. NaVi with a GG, and they are now with a 1-0 lead in this best of 3 series at this end of the Storm Europe Finals. Game number 2 on Battlefield of Eternity. NaVi not wasting any time, picking Zagara, or banning her out immediately. And now Bubble Squad, they can decide if they want to ban out Li Ming, or if they want to actually going to let her through. And nope, they ban her out. And now for NaVi, like the opportunity to go into an early Rhaegar. Keep in mind that with Li Ming currently banned, there's of course other heroes that we usually see banned out also available. Thrall, for example. We haven't really seen him in the last game, which was a little bit of a surprise. Usually you see Zagara and Thrall banned out, especially like before. But right now, NaVi again, with that focus on Rhaegar. And yeah, I don't know, like Bubble Squad, I feel in the last game they had an opportunity to play this a bit more aggressive, to go also like for, like with that Tazara that they already chose, instead of a Reyna, go for that Thrall and really start with Sundering and everything else that the hero like adds to the setup. Just go in deep and try to put pressure on Lunara and also, of course, on Falstad there. And they kind of missed that opportunity, so they were never really in a position where they could pressure the backline, and NaVi therefore could do whatever they wanted. Lunara ended up with the highest hero DPS in the game, actually on 54,000, if I remember correctly. So that being said, Bubble Squad, I feel like they have to change the way that they draft this a little bit, or like their strategy. They have to play this a little bit more aggressive against NaVi. Definitely not an easy task, but you have to pressure that backline if you really want to make sure that you are successful against these boys. And starting things off with the Falstad, definitely not a bad choice. I mean, Falstad has that mobility that you need on any map out there to make sure that you have like very nice lane experience and that you can just like simply move back, come back on lane. Be back, for example. But in this case, they could go still for a Thrall. We could see them also like go for their damage heroes first. I mean, Kalthas is around. There's still the opportunity to go into a Jaina, which is a little bit more popular right now. Any kind of poke that you have against like the Immortals on Battlefield of Eternity is strong. Keep in mind that Greymane is also one of those high priority heroes now as well. NaVi, I feel like they are already looking at a situation where no matter what they choose, they're going to be pretty solid here. Their Johanna play is absolutely spot on for Alex. He's looking very comfortable on the hero right now. And Bubble Squad, they go into an early Lunara here. So apparently they were quite impressed by the damage output in the last game, and they decided that Lunara is what they want to play now. The Wisp, of course, can also grant quite some vision. Could see NaVi going into a Grey main here, if they have the chance to. Keep in mind that Thrall is still out. I highlight that all the time because like melee assassin style with the Rhaegar together is definitely working. And if you want, you can add the Tassadar too. You have a maximum amount of shields. Tybrock, cheers bro. And ETC Jaina has been taken. Alrighty, ETC Jaina now for our first pick. So burst, then mosh pit action potentially. That's what we're gonna see.
Keep up the good work. Would like to see the Rexa Chibi.
You'll get the Rexa Chibi. The Rexa Chibi is actually the only thing that we're going to see from Rexa in the near future. Doesn't really feel like Rexa is going to be picked again anytime soon. At least for now. So yeah, an ETC and a Jaina. Thrall is banned out. So this time he's banned out. If anyone is going to take him, I'm pretty sure that NaVi would. They did so in the past. But they go into that Jaina. And with ETC together now, of course, they have that burst damage as well that they can really need. And also like the poke from a distance. So they can really like burst the target away, especially after a mosh pit. But even if they don't hit that, they can like poke from a distance against the Immortal here. NaVi, when it comes down to bans, I mean, right now there's nothing really that they need to ban out in particular. They can ban maybe like one of the damage dealers, one of the frontliners, I mean, and that's what they do. They ban a Muradin. It's basically like a personal preference thing at what you ban right now, and Muradin is what they're getting out of the way first. Bubble Squad, no matter what they choose here, they have like a lot of options. In terms of frontline, they can lock down that Johanna, for example. We still have also, like Muradin is banned out, ETC is already taken. They can go for Diablo composition if they want to. They can go into that Johanna. We have seen Chen a little bit more now that his Q, his flying kick, has finally been fixed in one of the last patches. So you can play that too. But like overall, you have options. They actually play a lot with also like Tyrael. And most of the times when they played the Tyrael style, I didn't really like the choice too much. But in this case, it would actually work out for them, since we are currently seeing for NaVi that ETC and Jaina combo. ETF on top, played a lot with Leoric in a few of the last games that we've seen from them. And he had actually like very, very nice entombs, so I like that a lot. So Leoric for ETF, that would definitely be a good choice. Curson, on the other hand, I would really like to see what they're going to get for him. They go into Tyrande here now too. And now, the Tyrande pick is a bit surprising to me because I really don't know what exactly Tyrande is supposed to do. I mean, if you go and hit an entomb and then Tyrande stuns the target and puts damage on it, that would work. But besides that, I guess you have to wait for Lunara to really slow someone down with her abilities and then hit that stun as well, so you can really capture them. But usually Tyrande is more used in a burst hero or in a burst composition where you really try to go for like chain stuns and then you lock somebody down and take them apart. That doesn't really work out for them in this case now though. So Tyrande is a bit of a surprise here, and it feels like they have to go into a second healer with this setup, which I personally find a little bit weird because I guess he could go for Diablo here too. But for now we have NaVi first of all, rocking that Sonya again. ETC Sonya already incredibly strong. They can go Grey main now if they want to have damage. Vala would work here as well. Kel'Thas, not really a good choice with Jaina together, I feel. But yeah, Grey main, Vala are definitely two very solid options for them. Theoretically, you could go for that Reyna too, but I really think that they're going to go for one of the two heroes that I already mentioned a little bit earlier here. So at least range damage would be what I would like recommend at this point. Yeah, with Sonya, they already have like a decent frontliner here. I mean, you could argue that you go into that Tassadar as well, that you pick Tassadar away and that you have Sonya going just like super deep. That you have Rhaegar with a lightning shield on Sonya. You can go for electric charge if she is really planning on going deep into the backline. But they go into the Diablo. Okay, so they expect Bubble Squad to pick Diablo, and that's why they pick him away. As I said, for Bubble Squad, I could have seen a second healer or that Diablo. Just said it before. NaVi apparently thinks exactly the same and says like, alright, if they want to go for a Diablo comp with Tyrande, which is going to simply pick that away from them, and then they have nothing left. So NaVi is trying to just outplay or outthink the opponent here. It's actually like a pretty cool move, because normally you wouldn't go into such a melee-heavy setup. And here comes that Tyrael that I've been talking about earlier. I bet you dollars to donuts or whatever. Yeah, donuts too, it doesn't matter. Tyrael was not the original plan. They wanted to go Diablo. That's why they picked Tyrande. But now that Diablo is gone, they go into the Tyrael that I mentioned before, which works kind of nicely against that ETC mosh pit with Jaina and that burst. But their comp has now very, very little synergy, and that is a huge problem for them. And Tyrande as the solo support against such a sustainable lineup as what NaVi currently has, I'm not sure if that works. Like, from a draft perspective, NaVi has definitely won this by a landslide. So Bubble Squad, they really have to step up their play now if they want to tie this series up and force a third game, because that draft is looking just absolutely fantastic for NaVi right now. And Bubble Squad is at this point in quite a bit of trouble. Let's jump straight into Battlefield of Eternity and see if Bubble Squad can turn it around or if NaVi is going to secure this with a 2-0 victory. Game number 2 in Battlefield of Eternity starts now, and we have actually like a very cool draft here for NaVi. They are looking very strong here, and it feels a bit like they outdrafted Bubble Squad at this point. Currently, Bubble Squad already down 1 game in the best of 3 series, and to the left side of the map we currently have NaVi with Alex the Pro G on ETC. We have Gran Paquete on Rega. We have Sonya played by Eternal, and Danatan on Diablo with Crosby on Jaina. To the right side of the map, ETF on top once again on this Leoric, as already mentioned. Curson as expected on Tyrael. Lumpy on Lunara. We have Lassev on Falstad, and Phalox is playing Tyrande. So one of the big problems here was really that pick on Diablo, and it felt for a long time like that was one of the things that Bubble Squad was basically hoping for, that they could get that Diablo and Tyrande composition to get the snipes in the early game. But they are far from that at this point, and it's a huge problem for them. Because right now, the Tyrande seems to be like a fairly lacking hero. It's not really something where they can combo with any of the other heroes that they have in their setup, and that is going to give them quite a little bit of trouble in the later stage of the game. So NaVi just picking that Diablo away, suddenly throwing a wrench into the plans of their opponent, and that is definitely something that we are going to be able to observe later. This setup that we see for NaVi is extremely sustainable with those 3 warriors, and they are already trying to showcase exactly that, and Tyrande is going to have a tough time healing all of that up. Blizzard tuned her numbers down a little bit, and that's definitely noticeable, which is one of the reasons why you oftentimes see her only with other supports comboed off with the Tassadar, for example. So let's see how that's going to work for them. And she's not even going for a cooldown reduction build, which is, for me personally, a little bit mind-blowing. I mean, you have a Tyrande as a solo support. If she is being played as a solo support, it's usually with heroes that have self-sustain, like a Sonya with Ferocious Healing on level 7, Laws of Hope on a Johanna. The only hero that has something along those lines now is Leoric with a potential Austin's Renewal on level 7, and I suppose that Curson with Tyrael can at least give them a few shields. But not going into Empower for cooldown reduction and Pierce is, in my personal opinion, a huge mistake here, and I just don't see how Tyrande should be able to negate the damage that is going to be dished out by heroes like Diablo, Jaina, that Lightning Shield on Gran Paquete. I just don't see that happening. I might be wrong there, but at this point I'm really surprised, and I am very eager to see how exactly Bubble Squad is going to try and make this work. We have Natural Perspective taken as the level 1 talent. The Immortals are in play. Curson is about to fall. He's down, but the counter kill against Sonya, so it's a kill for a kill. Well played here. Alex is rather low now as well. Of course, in the back line here, we have Lunara doing quite a bit of damage, but now they go straight for Leoric, and he is going to fall as well. A double kill, Lassev low. Lumpy still trying to get the damage in on his Lunara, but so far not quite working out for him. 2 kills against 1 right now, but of course we're still waiting for Sonya to go in. Here comes the slam against Tyrande, and she is dead, but Danatan is also down as Leoric comes back just in time to hit him with the Skeleton Swing. The level 4 talent a bit faster for NaVi though. That gives them an edge now in the fight. Tyrael is back in the fight, and then he's dead again immediately. Nice explosion there, but it does not help Leoric, who falls again. 5 kills against 2. Lumpy with the pokes, Lassev also still around. Alex, of course, trying to look for an opportunity to power slide in again. But down here we have already 2 heroes on the job trying to take down that Immortal. So NaVi with a great start into this game. Tyrande going full damage build right now. Searing Arrows on level 4 after the Rangers mark. We're seeing Amplified Healing taken, and we have the Nimble Wisp now with the Hardened Bones on Leoric. We're currently also seeing, again, here on level 1, the Electric Charge taken. And that's exactly the adjustment I've been talking about. If you remember during the draft, I mentioned that with the Sonya, they can go into the Electric Charge over the Lightning Bond. And that's exactly like that adjustment that you oftentimes will see when Rega is being played. That without a hero that is played as a bruiser type or like melee assassin, you usually go into the Lightning Bond when you try to make that work. But if you have a hero that goes deep into the opponent's backline and going for Electric Charge, which makes a lot of sense since that increased radius on the lightning shield will just make you so much more dangerous to the opponent's backline. So the Immortal moving down to the bot lane. Up at the top now, we have 3 versus 3 though. Bot lane, only the damage dealers are over there. Once again, we have NaVi starting to move in. They're running here with Soul Feast on level 1, Fire Devil on level 4. And actually, a talent that we haven't seen in a long time here on Jaina. Arcane Intellect has been taken now for her. So not going into the Snowstorm, Arcane Intellect for the mana management with a Lingering Chill taken as the level 1 talent. So a lot of talent adjustments here. Oh, and Bambi in trouble. Lunara being attacked. Crosby very low, has to be back, but still Bambi dies and joins her mother. We have now up to the top Eternal and Grandpa Kette also both on the run here, but they are still alive and kicking. 6 kills against 2 already. Bubble Squad is currently in a bit of trouble. They have to face the music right now, and it's not sounding too pretty for them. We're seeing that the bot lane again, Diablo starting to push this in together with ETC, and the two of them are starting to make some decent work here. The thing is though that in experience we still have Bubble Squad really close. So Bubble Squad, even though they are behind in kills, they are behind in like objectives, they still are looking pretty decent when it comes to experience. Both of the teams on level 7. We have now already Cleanse taken. We're also seeing the loudspeakers for ETC as a level 7 talent, Ferocious Healing, Battle Momentum, and even the Ice Lance now for Jaina trying to just like poke a little bit more here. And Eternal needs to be very careful because he's currently locked down there. 2 versus 4. They can't face a fight like this and they know that too. But Eternal still getting away. Paralyzing Rage has been chosen on the side of Leoric, and at the bot lane with 3 heroes being able to just like push this back, they already went straight through the wall. So that being said, we're having now also for Tyrande, again Lunar Blaze taken as the level 7 talent. Teams are starting to go for a few more of those mercenary camps on the map now, and especially like the one to the left side is being timed with the Immortal. The same happens to the right side where we're seeing Bubble Squad trying to get those few on the lane before the Immortal actually spawns. Up at the top, Eternal and Grandpa Kette are still waiting around, taking one of Khazra camps out before they start to move into the middle of the map. And this is now one of the Punisher that really matters, because we're getting more and more closer to level 10 in the heroic abilities. And that, of course, is one of the things that both of these teams are trying to reach as fast as they can. Yeah, Alex is already there, trying to like stun them out. It's a fight for which team is actually faster. It looks like NaVi is actually doing a little bit more damage here so far. They start to move up to the top again, try to get some experience here. Alex defending once again. The rest of NaVi is moving into down to the bottom of the map. We're still having Falset fighting against the camp. Here comes the fight against Curson. Curson trying to get away. Tyrael barely escaping. Stun is being dodged. Lumpy still dishing out a bit of his poison there. But so far, NaVi is looking solid. Falset is still at the bottom of the map though. He still waits for a chance to take down this camp that NaVi has taken earlier. Once again the fight, this time against ETF on top. They're getting really low here. But we have decent poke on the side of Bubble Squad, especially, of course, with Lunara. Lumpy, that's exactly his job, to poke from a distance, and that's what he currently tries to do. Doesn't even have the Thornwood Vines yet, but he's going to use that once that he has his level 10. But NaVi slightly ahead in experience. And they're trying to go for ETF once again. There's also Tyrael. Tyrael is being attacked, trying to jump away with the Druid's Might, and is able to escape here once again. But this time Leoric might be in too much trouble. He just barely Wraith walks away out of this one. Falset, on the other hand, he might be also falling now as Danatan is trying to lock him out. Same goes for Alex, but there comes the kill against Diablo, and Jaina down as well. Bubble Squad all of a sudden able to turn this around. They have the damage output and they showcase exactly that. Once again, they're extremely low, fighting versus 3. Alex dashes through, tries to save his teammates, but now Lampy is already on the case, trying to take Alex down. The Immortal is still being fought over. Grandpa Kette is there, Eternal moving away once again. Diablo is back, and so is Jaina. They're still fighting for it. Up to the top, ETC gets extra experience for his team right now, trying to help them to an earlier level 10, and both of the teams still just trying to heal up. 6 kills against 4. We're not able to go for the Immortal here. Very close fight here. Once again, ETC just Hearthstoning it back. And at the bot lane now, another wave being eliminated. It's all about the level 10 at this point. They want to get the heroic ability so that they can move in for a kill. But Bubble Squad is going to reach that at the same time, even faster than NaVi. They have now Sanctification. There's that Shadow Stalk, the Entomb that we've been talking about. Leap on Sonya has been taken. Leap on Sonya and Apocalypse. Here comes that immediate Entomb and Sanctification. They're jumping in. ETC with a 3-man mosh pit. Alex is low though. In comes Sonya, jumps on Falstead, down goes Bambi, and we have the kill against Leoric as well. Lunara down, ETC falling too. It's a 1-for-3 trade. Here comes the Terrial explosion. Crosby is still surviving though, and Lasev needs to be very careful here. Dashes away. Barrel rolls at the moment when we just saw that spear coming in, but Fairlox is not so lucky. Danatan jumps in and takes him out. Now ETF is back, but that Immortal is already feeling the pain. NaVi is going in, the pain train is coming, and NaVi is hitting hard with it. Grand Paquette needs to be running. Dude, like, oh, and he's down. Yep, drained and killed, but they get the Immortal. 10 kills against 6, level for both of those teams. And this is, well, 1 in 2 at least that ETF doesn't hit. But that trade that we just saw there, that was of course perfect for NaVi. At the beginning you could really tell that with all the damage that we have on the side of Bubble Squad, they can really pressure NaVi. The problem is the longer the fight lasts, the more trouble Tyrande has to really heal their teammates. And that was definitely visible in the last match here. Once again, ETF on top, up at the top lane here. Needs to Wraith, walk it away, very low already, is still able to escape. Thornwood Vines are doing their job, and also with Sonya able to jump into the back line. Especially Lunara is going to feel that a lot, like that pressure play on Sonya, especially of course if you follow it up with the Apocalypse, which is exactly what they're trying to do. And here it comes, Apocalypse used at the same time as the leap comes in. Great play here, really well done. They kill against Falstead right away. Sanctification saving Bubble Squad for a moment, but then Diablo is going in again and Leoric dies. Well played here, great play by NaVi, and now we are seeing them with 12 kills against 6. Moving away back after they took down the fort. Once more, they are just way ahead in the game. The draft is starting to really work out for them. The combo that they have with their rogue abilities is great. Didn't even have to use the mosh pit in the last fight here. But of course, if you have that setup with Leap, with Apocalypse, and getting that mosh pit in should be one of the easier challenges. Right now, they are having access to the extra talent. We're having after loudspeakers now also face smelt. We're seeing the tidal waves here. And we have at the same time now also Firestorm. Again, the Icy Veins taken, not going into the potential Ice Block. Icy Veins for the cooldown reduction. Extra damage, so to say. And with the extra talent, they can of course now also pressure the bottom lane, which is exactly what they're doing. They know that they have already 4 or 5 heroes here. And Bubble Squad is just not ready to defend just yet. So this is going to be quite a bit of damage. Eternal is already there, putting the pressure on. And goodbye, Bambi. Whoa, not quite. Bambi actually surviving for a little bit longer. I like that combo though. Alex is falling. Bubble Squad with great counterplay. Lunara is down. Grand Paquette is surviving, healing himself. He was not able to save ETC, but it's a 4 versus 4 now. I'm really loving that combo with the Diablo charge, him going for the overpower and then immediately the jump of Eternal. They don't rely on this follow-up stun of Tyrande, instead they use Eternal's ult for it. Once again the Apocalypse, Lasev falling, Eternal gets away and they get the kill against Curson and Leoric. A triple kill again for NaVi, they might even get Phalox. Nope, seems like Tyrande this time is going to get away, but that was absolutely incredible once again. NaVi with great kills here. They were the ones chased, and then when they really had to fight, Eternal nearly falling, they just turned it around with a good Apocalypse, locked the targets down, got a triple kill out of it. Now we have 13 versus 13 talents once again with the unfair advantage after the Wild Vigor had been taken on level 7, but this is looking extremely good. Once again the lockdown. These entombs that we're seeing from ETF on top are absolutely brutal. They are always spot on, but they couldn't really capitalize on it to the extent that they really wanted to. Alex is in trouble, gets healed. Well, we don't have the cooldown ready for the ancestral healing, therefore he's down. Mighty Gust being used so they can disengage here. Crosby is still trying to move in with the damage and takes down Lampy. Down goes Lunara. Lunara down. Danatan from the side trying to dash in, maybe against Falstead. Doesn't get him just yet, but there's still Curson. They go for Curson and they take Tyrael down once again. 18 kills against 9. NaVi is on a killing spree. They are like sharks circling their prey in the water, moving in through the Immortal once again. Of course, we are going to see ETC back in business in just a few. Grand Paquette eating a lot of damage here. Needs to be super careful with his positioning now. He needs to make sure that he is getting those heals in from a distance still, but they can simply wait for ETC, and he's already on his way back. So is Lunara though. She's trying to come back into the fight here and help out, but that Immortal is incredibly low, and that would be an Immortal with nearly 100 shields if they take him down, and that's exactly what happens. There are 5 heroes, there were only 4 ready for Bubble Squad, and therefore we see the kill. Well played here, Immortal already down, and with that we could see them go straight for the keep. The forts are already eliminated, the keep is still standing, and that's exactly what they're trying to do now with the 2-level lead, with the extra talent, rocking it with the Rising Storm after the tidal waves. We're having the imposing presence on 2 heroes, Diablo and ETC. Numbing Blast again taken for Jaina, and the Nerves of Steel, aka like the Stone Skin variation of Sonya. So now with those talents taken, they can go in, they can go straight for the kill here, and they're actually like attempting to go for that keep, and they're going to get easily at least the keep. If they get a couple of kills out, they could even core it here. So if they start a combo once again with a good lead, that's all that they need at this point, and of course that's what they're trying to do. Once more they're starting to jump in. First one is already down. Job well done here. Keep is eliminated. Are they going to go for the core? Fawcett, by the way, by now is on 22 season marksman stack, so he dishes out a bit more damage. Lassiv can hit hard, but not hard enough just yet. The Immortal is still nearly at full HP, has only lost the shield so far, and the shields on the core are nearly down. Here comes the jump and the elimination against Falstad. Great follow-up. Stun into stun. ETC with the mosh pit. Down goes Lunara. They kill Tyrael, and this is going to be game. We have a 2-0 victory for NaVi in this series. They advance to the semi-finals at the end of the Storm winner bracket. Well played. Great match here by NaVi. GG and congratulations. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on Khaldor TV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you, and if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them, or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.